Packers coach Matt LaFleur says he tells Aaron Rodgers every single day how much he loves him and how much he wants him back. Yet, LaFleur stressed he also wants to make sure that he gives Aaron Rodgers some space. And look, if that sounds like a contradiction, well, it's not. It's the wonderful world of Aaron Rodgers, who was rightly disrespected when the club drafted Jordan Love in the first round in 2020 to replace him instead of inexplicably getting him a wide receiver to help him. Now, without question, and I know this from talking to Rodgers through the years, Aaron Rodgers loves Matt LaFleur back. And it wasn't the coach who made the pick. It was the GM, Brian Gutekunst, who torpedoed his relationship with Rodgers by making that pick. But remember, Rodgers told me a few months ago on my podcast that Goonie has met him halfway, and the relationship with Rodgers and Brian Gutekunst is, in fact, much improved. LaFleur said that Rodgers, at the end of the day, impacted the hire of his guy, Tom Clements, to be the quarterback coach. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network is reporting that Rodgers' agents are talking with the Packers about a short-term deal. Think 2 years, $50 million per, all guaranteed. Here's what I believe. Aaron Rodgers wants to make sure that his guy, Davante Adams, is taken care of too. This has been trending favorably for the Green Bay Packers since we interviewed Aaron Rodgers. The brass, being fair, has done all the right things. Now seal the deal with the new money for Rodgers and Adams, and I think Rodgers announces he's staying in Green Bay by next Friday. New Texans head coach Lovie Smith says Deshaun Watson is an excellent football player who belongs on a football field somewhere. There's no doubt about that. He's a star. The issues, of course, are off the field. And that's why Watson didn't play it down last season. Watson faces 22 lawsuits alleging sexual assault. In addition to legal ramifications, Watson could still also face a suspension for violating the code of conduct policy in the NFL, even if he's not found guilty. But if a team cross-checks everything and feels confident in Watson being available and confident in his character, well, on the field he changes everything for your franchise. If you cross-check everything, I wouldn't hesitate giving up a ton of draft capital for Watson. Think about him as a player. He could lead the Broncos to the Super Bowl. Watson would be the ultimate replacement for Tom Brady in Tampa Bay and would be aided off the field by Byron Leftwich and Bruce Arians. Carolina needs him desperately, and I like Jalen Hurts, and so does Philly, but let's be honest here. Jalen Hurts is not even in the same category as a player when you compare and contrast him to Deshaun Watson. Now, it's not going to be Miami, who was hot and heavy for Watson last offseason and during the season before the trade deadline. But Chris Grier, the general manager of the Miami Dolphins, said yesterday they're out. And I dig that with Tua Tagovailoa playing for Mike McDaniel. I'm really high on the Miami Dolphins this year. But some team is going to trade for Deshaun Watson. There's obviously major and real risk. And I would respect teams for totally staying away. But the reward here is also off the charts. Welcome back. Joining us right now, the head coach of the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams, my guy, Sean McVay. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. You know, I can appreciate, Adam, you have always consistently been instilling that belief, and it doesn't go unappreciated. And, really glad to be here joining you today.
Oh, it's great to have you back on the show. And listen, you know that I am a big believer in what you do, what Les does, the style of the LA Rams. And you guys have put together great seasons. And this year it was so cool watching you guys get rewarded for it and get over that hump. Describe that feeling when the clock hit zero and you won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, Adam. And I think what was so special about this group was there were so many people that you wanted it for more than yourself. You see the Aaron Donalds, you see Matthew Stafford, Andrew Whitworth, the Weddles, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, there's so many people. Robert Woods was an instrumental part of it, and really just love this team. I think the best way that I can articulate it is you had real purpose because of the people you cared about, as opposed to just your own selfish passion driving you. And It still hasn't really set in, but it's been special to be a part of, and that's a year that I'll always cherish. And I get a little emotional every time I see those mic'd up things. It was a pretty fun thing to go through with so many special people and be a part of it.
Oh, it's something that you will have forever, and it was an incredible run. And listen, last time we spoke was a few months after you made the trade for Matthew Stafford, and it felt like the piece, right? It felt like that was a move to get you guys over the hump, to be in position to win the Super Bowl. Regular season was good. There were some ups in general for the whole team. There were some downs. The postseason for Matthew was just terrific. What made him so great, Sean, when it mattered the most?
I think the whole journey of the season is what enabled, Matthew to shine his brightest. And I think you can really be able to learn as much about people when you do go through those adverse moments. He never blinked. He never flinched. He always continued to trust himself, his teammates around him. They believed in him. And, he played his best when his best was required. I always, I have such respect and admiration for Coach Wooden, being out here in LA and what he's done. And we really try to model a lot of the things that we do after the way that he led and taught at the highest of levels. And he talked about competitive greatness at the top of his pyramid, Adam, being your best when your best is required. That's what Matthew Stafford was. And I don't think anybody that's been around Matthew closely and for an extended period of time would ever say they were really surprised. Just happy for him to be able to deliver the way that he did and have the platform and opportunity to be around some other really good players as well.
Sean, I need a thesaurus here in describing Aaron Donald. And he wasn't going to let you guys lose, whether it was the San Francisco game, whether it was Super Bowl Sunday. What makes Aaron Donald so amazing and so special?
I think it's hard to even put into words, Adam. The best way that I describe it to people is I get asked about Aaron all the time, and no matter how good or how special you think he is, the best way I can say it is he's even better. He is one of one. The way that he goes about it every single day is what epitomizes everything that's right about sports and being the best at what you do. When you say one of one, there's a real mantle that accompanies that, but Aaron really is that. And such a great teammate, such a great leader, such an amazing player with the way that he goes about his work day in and day out. And I think it's so awesome, too, to be able to see for how hard he works, him allowing himself to enjoy, what he and his teammates accomplish. You're seeing him have fun. You're seeing a side of him. And now the challenge is, how do we convince him to want to try to have that same emotion and energy towards trying to go get another one together?
So let's talk about Aaron and his future. Obviously, that's a big topic for discussion. And, that was not a storyline going into the Super Bowl that I was really thinking about, and then you saw the report and then the ensuing reports. Now it sounds like, the parade, everyone's fired up, run it back. What have you talked to Aaron? What's his mindset here? Is it contract? Is it his body? What's the mindset here for Aaron Donald heading into the offseason?
Yeah, I think you want to allow to give him the time that he needs, that he's earned, and that he deserves to be able to really sort through all the different things that he's working through. And I think he'll come out at the right time and be able to communicate that. But he and I have a really special relationship, Adam, something that I really cherish. I feel confident that we're going to try to do everything in our power to make it enticing for him to want to come back and lead the charge, because I know a big reason why a lot of players get excited about coming and playing LA is because of the opportunity to team up with Aaron. And so, we'll take that a day at a time. But he is a foundational piece and a big part of what we want to try to be able to do moving forward, while also giving him the respect and the time that he certainly has deserved and has earned.
After the Super Bowl, there was a lot of conversation about Aaron's future and also your future. And, that certainly was a topic for discussion. It's certainly one that, a lot of people debated. I mean, you're young, you just won the Super Bowl. But listen, I listened to all your podcasts with Peter Schrager. I love the one with Raheem Morris and Mike Tomlin. The Kyle Shanahan one was fantastic. You have a brilliant future in media whenever you decide you want to go into media. And look, opportunities, money, conversation, it all factors in things. It's all human nature. I know how much you love ball. I know how much you love the Rams and coaching and all the special guys on the team. Was it a no-brainer to stay? Take us through the decision that you had to make.
Yeah, I think it's really flattering, first of all. And that is something that I've always had an intrigue and an interest level, down the line to be able to do. I got tremendous respect for what you do and what these announcers and hosts do, and you have a little bit of an understanding how difficult it is, but I've never really lived in that arena. But you've kind of done some different things, and it is flattering, but my heart is in coaching. I love this sport. Being able to be associated with some form or fashion is something that I think I'll always do. But the people, whether it be the players, the coaches, my loyalty to Mr. Kroenke and everything he's done to me, this organization, it just felt right to continue to do this. And I think then once you make that decision, Adam, you have real peace of mind with the clarity that's provided. And I think it's important for it not to be a distraction for our team, to be able to put that to bed, move forward with the opportunity to attack, a chance to get better, understanding how difficult it's going to be. But I'm very excited about it. And then hopefully down the line, I'll be able to talk some ball with you on TV.
I love that. That would be amazing. And listen, Odell Beckham Jr., when you guys brought him in, I thought it was fascinating on a lot of different levels. And I think with Odell, there's always been that perception. There's been that reality. Take me through the decision to bring him in, the teammate that he was, and then before the injury, my goodness, he was remarkable for you guys down the stretch and in the postseason.
He really was, Adam. I think first and foremost, I've always been somebody that develops my opinions on my personal interactions with people. You're not naive to the fact that a lot of people have opportunities to say something. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. So I always take stuff with a grain of salt. I've gotten a chance to get to know Odell over the last few years. I've always had a great admiration for his body of work as a player. And then in my interactions with him in the offseason, I've loved the personality, the human being, the charisma, the presence, the swagger that he has. And that he was all that and that much more. He was a great teammate. He worked hard. The game makes sense to him. He's so smart and he's so gifted. But I did think that he was, a huge part of why I know he was a huge part of why we were able to win a world championship. But he only got better as we got more and more comfortable working together. I hated to see him go down. I really believe he was in store for going absolutely bananas in the Super Bowl because so much of what we were doing was predicated on trying to be able to get him in some favorable spots and him being able to win some matchups. And our guys delivered, but Odell is somebody that we want to continue to work with. I can't say enough about him as a teammate, as a person. I really love him, cherish our relationship that we were able to establish and develop, and I'm hopeful that there'll be many more years to come with us working together.
I've referred to the approach for the Rams, for you, for Les, as the Ocean's 11 approach. And I loved Ocean's 11. And they just cast star after star after star. I mean, did they need Andy Garcia? I don't know, but he was great in the movie. But I think for you guys, and I've said this to Les, the key, it's the culture and the chemistry, checking the ego at the door. Why did it work for you guys and not other teams in the NFL?
I'll tell you what has had a huge influence on it is when you have the right veteran leadership, or really just leadership in general, I think that becomes the standard at which you operate. I can always remember, my grandfather's had such a huge influence on me, Adam. I always used to ask him, how did you guys sustain such a high level of performance your years in San Fran? They went to 5 and they won 5. He's got 5 rings. And he said our best players were the best examples of what it looked like to operate with the standards that Bill and Coach Seifert wanted day in and day out. And that's exactly what we have here, Adam.
I love that anecdote about Coach Wooden before. So now it's going to be a different offseason for you in terms of how do you do it again? How do you repeat? How do you make sure, everyone's going to get endorsements and, be on TV and do that? How do you make sure the focus is on ball? So take me through that challenge, and maybe, because I love that anecdote, what can you learn from John Wooden?
Yeah, I think what you can learn is that you earn it every single day. And if you think that the previous ways that you went about accomplishing your goals, just repeating those same things will get it done, then that's, being really naive and not understanding that you have to continue to get better. You have to push the standard, the operation. And what we did last year isn't going to be the same formula that we can use this year. We're going to enjoy it. And then when we come back, we're going to hit the ground running, knowing that that last year was last year and this is a brand new year.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.